Hi, Lexies. Welcome back to the Luxury Live Show. Of course, I have my awesome, gorgeous co-host, Kat L, with me. And
Was a bit
today, as you
sick.
saw, oh no, you're sick. I'm sorry. There's a bug going on. There's like a bug going on. I didn't catch anything, thank goodness. Oh my goodness, because I hate to travel while I'm sick. But my nephew also, he was sick already before I left. And I saw him in October, and then I came back. He's still sick. It's like catching nonstop flu, like nonstop bugs.
I feel like I just recovered, like from Hong Kong. I just came back and I finished that bug, and then I traveled on Tuesday, and I think I must have caught a bug maybe last weekend or something. And then when I went to KL on Tuesday, and I feel on Tuesday my throat there was like there's a scratch there. I was like, that doesn't feel right. And then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, including today. Today's not so bad, but the past 3 days I've been having high fever. Like seriously, I haven't
Oh.
I take so much like Panadol, paracetamol to bring the fever
Mm.
down, but I can't sit up. I'm telling you, I'm trying to sit up, but I'm aching. All my joints are like in so much pain.
Oh.
But I don't have a flu. Nothing. I don't have cough. So yesterday I was thinking, I was like, wait a minute, do I have dengue? You know it's dengue, right?
Oh,
Okay,
fever.
dengue
I mean,
fever, the one that
I don't really know the symptoms, but
it's all fever only, like high fever,
oh,
joint pain, and all of that, because that's the only like, and you have ongoing fever. The only thing that I've been trying to
oh,
monitor in my body, do I have any rashes? I don't.
yeah.
So I don't think so, but oh my gosh, I'm trying to sit up, but I'm like, forget it. I'm just gonna lean back and do the live today.
Yeah, just relax because as you all know, as you all saw on the thumbnail, actually, if you don't know, we tried to do this topic last time. And we did start it. We started talking about our first item and then our second item. And then I didn't even finish my second item. Of course, we had a surprise surprise visit from Jerusha, and then pretty much the whole episode was we was chatting
Different.
with her. So that's why we said we're gonna finish it today. We're gonna finish our the topic, the original topic. Both Kat and I had originally 5 items, but hey, feel free to fill in your worst purchases of the year because we're it's like a two episode type of session now. But yeah, also if you guys just saw my video, I don't know if you got a chance to catch up. I just came back from Hong Kong, which is why my background is back to normal. Actually, I still have my luggage. I still haven't unpacked my biggest luggage. Been so busy. But yeah, take it easy, Kat. Which is yeah, it's just a chat, right? So anyway, last time I did my second one, which was to refresh everyone. My second one was I was talking about the belt, the Kelly belt. I love the Kelly belt, by the way. It's just that I, I already had 3 Kelly pocket belts, and then that last one I bought, I really didn't need it because I already have a black, I have a white, and then I have a gold. So I really have all the colors I could possibly need. And then I was just like, oh, didn't want to leave empty-handed, and I got a tube. So, but I really didn't need it because, yeah, it was, it was just, yeah, it
One
was
of
just like
those
one of
things.
those, like, oh, didn't want to leave without buying anything. Do you happen to have? And it was also rose gold, which is not my ideal. Like, if I wanted to really be matchy matchy with my mini Lindy, I should have gotten a tube
Gold.
and gold, right? But they didn't have that one. They only had palladium and rose gold, so I picked rose gold. So it was too random, which is why it ended up in my worst purchases because it's my least worn.
Yeah. I can share my next. I only got 2 more things.
Oh,
And
okay.
yeah, let me show you this one. So actually, this is sort of like um it's bad, but at the same time I like it. But I know why it's bad. It's because it's silver. So this ring. Oh, it doesn't look so
Oh,
bad. Doesn't look so bad on the camera. But let me see if I can come up close and whether you
it's a
can.
little. It's like a little yellowing. I mean, I would
Oh,
suspect that's the problem.
yeah. So can you guys see that?
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
It's like a little
it's
warm.
yeah. I don't know. Oh, it's hard to show for tarnishing on camera, but
Yeah, I mean, because it's reflective, right? Metal is reflective.
correct. So anyway, yeah. Okay, yeah. So this, it was not like something that oh my god, I need to have it. I was actually looking for the bracelet, but then my essay, this was early in the year, and my essay showed this to me, and I wore it, and I like it. I mean, it's cool. Like, I like to wear some silver once in a while, but because of the way it's designed, right, there's a lot of grooves on the inside. So if I use a polishing cloth, it's really hard to get inside, like these underneath the stick part, the long part of the silver, underneath there, in the middle. I've got to use liquid and then use a toothbrush to clean it up. So, but that's because it's a little bit more tricky to remove the tarnishing. I haven't really worn it, so it's kind of like a bad. It's not like the worst, but it is like, it's one of those purchases, right? You kind of know it in your heart that you got to take care of it. And I'm okay with, a polishing cloth. I usually keep a polishing cloth with all of my silver. So whenever I take them out, I just give it a quick buff. But this one, trickier because of all that insides here. I need to, I don't know, I need two things, not just the polishing cloth. I need a toothpick, need to push the polishing cloth. So it's like, so 麻烦.
Yeah. I never knew you bought this one. I don't remember
Oh,
when
this
you got it.
was early in the year. I think I bought this maybe around February or March. This was from my old essay actually. So it was around February or March. No, he left in March. So February, I think. And I've worn it a couple of times. It's a ring that needs to be worn on its own, right? Just on its own,
Yeah.
on my index finger, that's it, or maybe my middle finger. But the thing about silver is that if you don't wear it all the time, then it tarnishes. And the tarnishing, which is quite surprising because it's supposed to be rhodium plating. It's supposed to be rhodium plated.
Is it?
But yeah, the silver in Hermes is supposedly rhodium plated, but it still tarnishes. It's quite bad.
I was
Actually,
never
the
told that.
tarnishing.
I know they're palladium. Wait, I don't know. Maybe I'm getting confused. Because I heard anyway. I'm pretty sure someone told me, it was like, oh, don't buy Hermes silver because it tarnishes really easy. And so I've been
Yeah.
kind of resisting buying. But then, those earrings, because I bought only one item that is silver. And those earrings, I was just like, wow, it just looks so good. And I was thinking, it's still easy enough to polish because that one is a thin wire. And then there's still like the same pattern as yours, as your
Mm-hmm.
ring, but it's like a little thinner. Like it's easier to get inside, I think.
Yeah, I think with
Uh,
silver, it's okay to, I mean, you know that it will tarnish, but it's not like a bad kind of tarnish, right? It's just that if you have a polishing cloth, you just give it a buff. It's so beautiful. Except that if you get things that have a lot of grooves like this, then the inner part will be tricky. So I can see like it's not so nice. So tricky, it's not that bad. Like you just gotta, be a little bit more patient when you're cleaning it. Like, but if I'm gonna wear it, I'm gonna take it out straight away, give it a buff, and go. Yeah. So it's like everything is shiny except inside here. It's like, yellowy.
which only you see because most
Yeah, which
people will
only,
just,
yeah, correct. You're right.
yeah,
Only the person wearing it can see it. But if
yeah.
I'm just moving around, you don't see. It looks super shiny, right?
Yeah, it looks good. It
Yeah.
looks really cool. So, okay, I'm gonna
I
post
have
some
another one.
comments.
Hang on. Let me take the other one.
Okay, from Joe. I asked for the 80 centimeter farandole necklace in silver, and this is making me rethink. Yeah, I mean, Joe, I tried. I mean, I bought, you know what? I should check on those earrings because I don't wear them very often. But then I keep mine here. They're just like right over here. So maybe I can check on them right now because I keep mine in the original box because they say that if there's no oxygen, then it should be fine, right? Let's check
Yes.
it out. I don't know about the necklace, but the
So
earrings, I have a feeling it should be fine.
this is the one that I was hunting down, and it's beautiful, but it's definitely tarnished since
Mm,
I put it outside, right? So yeah, if
mm.
you actually don't wear your silver, I have a lot of silver pieces from Tiffany. What I do is I will wrap it in tissue paper, like these kind of just tissue paper. Okay, I'll wrap it, and then I will put it in a Ziploc bag, and I swear it doesn't tarnish at all because no, it's not exposed to air. But if you leave your silver jewelry outside and it's exposed to air, it will tarnish. So this one, you can see right inside the, it's not as, yeah, it's hard to
I'm not
tell.
sure we
Oh,
can see from this far, but
yeah, I don't think you can
you can
see
tell
it.
us.
Yeah, it's hard to show you. But the little grooves on the inside, it's all tarnished.
Yeah, okay, so I'm looking at my earrings and they're in this box, this original box, because this box is pretty airtight, I find. It's not completely airtight, but it's pretty tight. Like the earrings, you really have to tuck it in.
Mm,
It looks fine.
yeah.
Obviously, I do take out the earrings here and there to wear them, so I think it does get exposed to air. So it's not quite like white, you know. It has kind of like that warm tone, which I think is known from silver. But I wouldn't call this tarnishing. So I think I'm happy with the way these have kept just because I think I feel like because you know there's like a cushioning here and then there's a
Mm,
cushioning here and you can even see the dent, the indent from the like
yep.
the pin here. So I feel like it's okay. I think yeah, it just depends on the item, right? Because your
See?
bracelet,
Look. I just
yeah, yeah.
polished it. Look at that. But look at how shiny it is now. Woo! So I mean it's still really nice. Like once I polish it's like wow. Doesn't take too much work. So, but I saw a question about using a machine. Yes, I have like polishing materials, but actually the polishing cloth that Hermes gives is really good. Like if you buy silver from Hermes, make sure you ask them for their polishing cloth because this polishing cloth is uh it has been, the word is it's impregnated with the silver, this because I can smell it. It's really strong, and a polish like that, it makes, look at that, so shiny,
Mm,
really
yeah.
good. So I keep it. But what I'll do is anytime I want to take it out to wear, I'll just give it a polish like this. I'll rub it and it's fine. But of course, you will not get into the grooves, right? Which honestly, you cannot really see. Once you wear it, it reflects on your skin. I love it. I love it. But yeah, of course, on like maybe like a jewelry cleaning day, I'll take a toothbrush and clean all my jewelry. But not these few weeks. I've been so lazy and sick. I I hate being sick.
Okay, pulling a comment from Lance. I was looking at the same bracelet. My essay was like, don't waste your money. They are silver and it's expensive, not worth the money. You know, your essay is really honest because when I bought mine, I think my essay was honest too, but she was more encouraging that I buy them because I think they were nice on me, first of all, and then her solution was if anything you could just always polish them, which you know I agree with these ones only because these ones they are very like you know you could get
Easy.
around everywhere except like the very like edge of this. Otherwise, it's not too bad. But I think, yeah, I think for the necklace and the like the piece you have right here, the bracelet, because all the loops, they're so tight together, right? There's so many of them.
Yep.
That might be more challenging.
But yeah, I see myself like I like this, but yeah, it's sort of, yeah, it's one of those things with silver, right? I kind of like in my head I know it, but at the same time like, oh, I have to polish it.
You kind of have
But
to
then
live with it.
But yeah, this one is annoying because I'm trying to like get into the grooves.
Yeah.
You're right, toothbrush might leave scratches, so I use like a baby toothbrush. But still, you have to be really, really gentle. You have to be careful. So.
Lance, I love your essay already. Your essay is like really, really honest about all the like the accessories that are like, don't waste your money. Okay, let me are you done?
Yep.
Okay, let me share my
I'm
next
already started
one.
polishing. I can't stop.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. It's nice to do it while you have, time to do it. Okay, so I was like thinking, what did I buy this past year that I honestly have not used, right? Like I haven't bought so many things this year, I feel. It's all Hermes up until the last unboxing. And then I was like, okay, what is that I like literally never wore? And then I thought, oh, is it this top? Because this top, I bought two of them, right? I bought the white version and then this black version, but then I finally wore them today because it's finally cold now. It's actually quite cold. It's a big contrast between Hong Kong and here. So it's not going to be this top. Plus, I really, really love this top. So the only other sort of like silk things that I haven't worn that I bought are these twillies. I still have the tags on them.
Oh.
I have not worn them yet. And so is it a waste of money for me to buy twillies? That's kind of going to be a good, like these two are going to be good sort of like, they're not so expensive. And I did get them in the most neutral, like neutrals, right? Black, white, very kind of like easy pattern to go with. So I'll try to wear them because it's, again,
what did you buy them for?
I originally bought them for two reasons. Well, actually, I kind of bought them for fun, first of all, because I was thinking, I wanted a white one because I wanted a twilly for my white Kelly 28. But for some reason, this white, when I put it on, it didn't, I don't know, I wasn't feeling it. So in my head, I was thinking, even if it didn't work for my Kelly, I could still just wear it on my neck. That was the second sort of option, right? Wear it on the neck with a blouse, which I haven't done because it's been warm. And so we'll see if I end up wearing them more, at all, because I'm just not sure if I'm a twilly girl in terms of wearing them, right? So as far as today, I haven't worn them yet. They're still like right here, brand new, but they're so nice. And I do, when I see them and I like imagine, oh, I can wear this with a blouse, I really think they look really nice, because especially when you have a very plain, just white blouse, right? Anything you put on your neck, tied up, it's quite nice. So I like it too. I like the black twilly. I mean, I like both. That's why I bought them. But I just don't know if I'll buy more twilly until I start wearing these more, I think. Because as of right now, I have not worn them. And I also almost feel like it's so formal.
Yeah.
There's something about them.
It's like if I see you in the store, I'll be like, Miss, help me.
Yeah, can you help me out?
I'm like, no, I don't work here. I don't work here.
Well, it's fine. I'm happy to give advice if you're just like wondering, but I can't get the stock in the back for you. And I won't be offended, because it, like, at the end of the day, there are people who wear nice scarves and they just look very formal and proper, and it's a nice look. but I just haven't worn them yet, and I just feel so bad. Again, they're not
Julie
so
saying,
expensive. Just like your ring, it's not so expensive, right? So it's fine, but I should I should try to wear them. I think yeah, they're really nice. I should wear them.
Julie saying it can be twisted into your hair and used as a hair accessory.
Yeah. I'm too lazy to do that, but maybe I should try for like a holiday party.
Mm. Like
I
a
actually
hairband
I
for summer.
discussed and in the summer, yes. I maybe I should have brought them to Hong Kong and try to be like creative with it, but um I was just at a sort of like an event earlier. It was very casual, and we took photos with Santa, and I was thinking of wearing all white, but then I wanted to match my newest bag today, so I had to change into black, which is why I changed into this top and then the skirt. But yeah, I think well, and then I have a black one too, so I could have maybe tried to do something with my hair with it. So next time.
Monarch's
I'll keep
asking,
it
what
in
is
mind
the
for my
name
next
of the
holiday
black suit?
party.
What's the name? Sorry, Monarch's
Oh,
asking,
the name.
what is
Yeah,
the
the
name
name
of
for
the
the both of them are the same because they're the same print. They're like the same print.
black one's
Um,
nice.
I think actually I think this is in the men's section, even though like you know what I mean, right? Like it's not like a men's item. It's just like a men's print. It's not like the female one. So it's called you know what? I should type it out, but it's called Etrier Remix. Here, I don't know if you can. Oh yeah, you can see,
Yep.
but I can type it out just in case. But anyway, try to screenshot this. Here, I'll do it even closer. Screenshot this so you get the number as well. Yeah, they have it in like a nice gray tone. There's like a yeah, that gray one is almost like a little green undertone. It's quite nice. Um I try I honestly I try not to get more than two because I actually like the gray one too, but I was thinking I should try to at least, just settle with two first, try them out. Good, thank goodness I did because again, I haven't worn them yet. So yeah. I don't know if sometimes I'm like, certain things you just don't know until you try them. Like with my scarves, the 90 centimeter, they end up working out just because I try to wear them more than one ways. And because I do enjoy wearing them as tops, I actually end up wearing them more. But I find myself not wearing them as much as actual scarves, which is sort of what these are, right? They're kind of like scarves. So they're a lot smaller though. So um maybe that's my issue. I don't really like wearing scarves because although I need them because I do live in Canada, it gets cold, but I always find that they get in the way and I just sometimes I'm too lazy. Like sometimes I just go out with my coat and I just flip the collar and I flip the collar. I kind of just get cold a
Yeah.
little, just like a little bit, and then you just kind of deal with it. And then you get inside and then it's over, right? So I almost kind of try to not wear a scarf so that I don't have to worry about the scarf because then you have to remove it, or maybe when you get too hot you have to store it, and then the last thing I want is to lose it, right? So I think that's why I don't like scarves. I mean, I like the idea of them, but I don't like, practically speaking, I don't like them. Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll
NSK
see.
is saying Tweedies are tough to style, but using them as hair accessories is a good idea.
Yeah, let's try that.
And Kat, have I used my Constance? Not since the last time. It's all polished. Okay, let me show you my. Oof, wow, all the. Okay, the other one is sort of. I'm sorry. I'm trying to be like not really rude, but my back's killing me. Okay, this one's not really like luxury, but it was not cheap as well. And it's because I don't know why I bought it to use, but it didn't turn out the way I wanted it to. And that's my Coach
Really?
bag. Yeah. I bought
Oh.
this to be rough use, yeah. So it's not that I want to be gentle with it. I bought it to put my laptop, but I've only used it for a few times, and yeah, I mean it's really hard wearing. But I think because once I put my laptop inside and I try to carry it like this, and it's also my shoulder, it's very heavy, extremely. So the heaviness was like, ugh, what happened? Plus, because it's really bulky, like this way is bulky. So when I use the shoulder strap to carry on my shoulder as a bag, as a like a laptop, I feel like I'm doing this like this. I'm going sideways.
Yeah.
So yeah, it ended up not doing so well. Like I was like really excited to get a top handle vertical tote for my laptop, but it didn't work out. In fact, now this is the bag that I use for my work, for my laptop. I use my Foray Lepage.
Yeah.
I wonder if it's the profile, because when I use this and I carry it on my shoulder, I don't tip as much, but a little bit. I mean, sure you have to, but maybe because it's just under my armpit that I can squish the bag in, and then the laptop sort of like closer to me. Whereas for this, because it's mainly a top handle, but then if I were to wear this, the bag's almost at my waist, right? I'll show you. Like this. So I'll be doing this and it just feels really bulky outside like that.
What if you change the strap? Because this strap is quite thick and it does slide off your shoulders easily because it's thicker. That's why I don't like thick straps. I don't like thick straps at all.
Yeah. I don't know. There's something about it. Plus, the bag itself is not that light, which, Coach tends to have this kind of leather profile. Some of their bags, the more heavy duty ones, tends to be a bit like this on its own. If I take out just this empty file, it's got weight, I don't know how to explain.
Yeah.
So once I put my
I can tell
laptop,
already.
once I put my laptop and I put my charger and I put a water bottle, oh my god, this bag is like freaking a rock. So unfortunately, it didn't work out. Now I'm stuck with a bag that I don't know what to do with.
And you tried to use it, right?
Yeah, I tried to use it. I tried to use it for like work trip. So I traveled with this back to KL, back to Singapore, and it was a mess. It was like felt like I was lugging around this top handle open style vertical tote. Plus, when I'm in the airport and I have to put my bag, this is another thing, right? So I put my stuff, and then if I'm in the plane, and then I need to put my bag at the top, it's like this. So everything's open. Yeah. So that's also another issue, right? Like everything's gonna fly out. So it's not even though I thought it would be good for me to be carrying this bag, lugging it around for work, maybe just for home to office and back, but not for travel, because I don't know how to slide this under the seat or put it on top in the plane. It doesn't work.
Sell it. Sell it on your carousel.
I know I could, but I'm so I am at the phase where I'm just so sick of selling things. Not that I would love to sell it, but I'm like
selling though.
The time, the effort, the negotiation. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I guess so, because that's like it's a different type of clientele as well. Actually, I wanna say I'm the same, Joe. I'm sure you guys have heard me say many times I don't usually do charms or twillies on my bags unless I really, really like the combo together. But otherwise, like especially with twillies, I never ever do twillies on my bags. I actually do prefer them naked, as you say. But the only reason why the white one, the white bag, the white Kelly had to have one because it's white. So I think that was the idea of me trying to kind of um, I guess explain like make an excuse for buying this white one, and then I ended up getting multiples. I stopped at two, thank goodness. But I am so picky when it comes to what goes on my bag. If I don't like, even if it's the tone, like the tone is slightly off, I'm like, no, I don't like it. So maybe what I should have done if I'm gonna buy it for a bag is I should have brought the bag to like try like to put it on right away. And if I really don't like the look, if there's even anything off, I shouldn't just buy it because yeah, because I don't know. I'll try to wear it on my hair and stuff like that, and I'll try to wear it anyway. But we'll see. Maybe they don't get worn very much, and they'll be like my last twillies. Okay, my next one also another item that I bought. Not too actually, it's a few months now because I bought it before. No, wait, when did I buy this? I forget now. I think I bought it after I came back from Hawaii because I tried them in Hawaii, but they didn't have my size in Hawaii. They also only had it in black, and I was just like, man, I don't want black. So I came back home, and then I saw them and I bought them, but it was still too cold to wear them. And then the whole summer went by, I still didn't wear them. And then of course now I can't wear them until next summer. So here we go. I
Oh,
have not worn them yet. These are called, what are they called again? I can't remember, but they are like the slightly different shoe. They're the open heel with quite a chunky heel, and they have like the thicker H pattern, and they look really chic on the feet. Like I have worn them in try-ons, okay? Like that's just like at home with the outfit. I actually really like this color because this is the same color as my favorite um, sandals. What are those called again? Oh my gosh, my brain is not working today. Those sandals that we all love. Oh, sheep
Oran.
sandals. Sheep sandals.
Oh, the sheep sandals.
Yeah. So the pair that I wore the most, that I still wear the most, I even brought them to Hong Kong, wore them there as well. They're the same exact color, same color code and everything, which is why I thought I would love these shoes, but I haven't worn them yet.
Oops.
See?
Yeah.
It's funny because usually when I buy like if I really like a pair of shoes to the point where I go looking for them, I will normally wear them right away. So case in point, I actually bought two pairs of shoes in Hong Kong. I wore them right away. Those have worn marks. This one, I don't know. Is it a mistake? Maybe. It's maybe a mistake for me to buy things in the wrong season. Because again, I bought these in the winter time. And then you have to wait to wear them. And then by the time the summer season came by, I don't know. Maybe it's also because they are heeled. And sometimes I just need to be able to walk farther distances. And I just don't like that. I don't feel confident in them without the security of something holding my ankle. So I haven't had the chance to really wear them. And these are pretty it's not chump change, right? It's still a lot of money. So I don't know. Will I start wearing them next season? I hope so, because otherwise they're really nice shoes, but that's a lot of money wasted if I don't wear them.
You have two of these, is it?
No, just this pair.
Which is the
The
one that
other
you have?
one I have two of. They have ankle straps. Those ones I
Ah.
wear. Because again, there's an ankle strap. I feel more secure in them. So even though there are days that maybe, I'm not going to be walking long distance because they have heels, but I feel more secure knowing that they have a strap, even though it takes me a minute to wear them, again, because of the strap. But I don't know. Maybe because they're more secure, I feel like, oh, if I'm going to wear them, I'm going to commit to the look, to the whole thing, right? The outfit and everything. So I do end up wearing those. Whereas this one, it's the easiest to just slip in. But then because I think psychologically, I'm thinking like, oh, I don't want to end up having to use my toes to hold onto the shoe. Sometimes that's how it is, right? And then I'm like, oh, I'm not committed. I don't want to wear them. So I end up not using them. So I don't know if it's a mistake to maybe just not buy this kind of shoe for myself anyway. I know some people they can walk on these, but for myself, maybe I should just keep buying shoes that have more security, right? That hold on to my feet better. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure what it is, but they're so nice. They're my favorite color too.
They're a nice color also, yeah.
Yeah, they are.
Okay, let me pull a quick comment. ML saying maybe wear a shorter sling for my bag. It's possible. I'll give it a go. I'll give it a go and see whether it helps. Maybe if the bag's a little higher, then I can get the bag underneath my armpit and then walk around. Maybe it won't feel so bulky. But yeah, having a laptop and everything inside, the idea seems good. In reality, no lah.
Would you do handheld only?
I tried. Yeah, so I tried, right? I just carried the handheld, but because the bag's heavy and then the bag's got weight and then my laptop and everything, I feel like I'm like lugging it like it's like I'm carrying rocks in my bag. So not the most demure for sure. Anyway.
Oh, that sucks. Did you have another one or should I go with my last one?
I don't have another one.
Okay.
You can go with the last
So
one.
I know you already talked about your bag because since I didn't show any bags, right? And I honestly don't really have a bad purchase in terms of bags this year because, well, there were not that many bags. Also, I don't have a bad bag. But since you showed your bag and you explained the reason, it's more about the experience. I will show mine too. Okay, just to preface this, it's nothing about the bag. I actually really love this bag. I took it to Hong Kong with me and I used it a lot. Pretty much anytime, because I only brought 2 bags with me on this trip because in my head I was like, oh, I'm gonna buy some bags over there, so I don't want to overpack. So I have some room to bring back in my carry-on, right? Because you don't want to put this in your check luggage. Which turns out to be the best decision I made. Plus, I was thinking, okay, between this and the Mini Kelly, because those are the 2 bags that I brought with me. The Mini Kelly is really just like a going out bag, right? This fits not enough. It doesn't even fit my current phone. So this was the bag that I used the most. Pretty much anytime I was going to like places other than attraction parks, because I don't bring this to Ocean Park. I don't bring this to Disney. But other than that, everywhere else I go in the city, I'm okay to bring this bag. I brought this to even Macau. So I pretty much wore this the most, right? To the point where it's so nice now because it's so flexible now. It's all expanded. Sorry, this way. It's all expanded. It's the clasp. Everything is like kind of, ease in. And I have so much joy using it because I feel like now I can shove it. Because remember on my kind of the review for which travel bag, like that video, I was not sure if this was too tight and I was kind of having a little doubt about shoving things in there. Well, I ended up shoving things in there and then now it's fine. So I love this bag. But why is it in the worst purchase video? It has more to do with the whole experience. It wasn't the worst experience I've ever had, but it's also not the best. It was just a lot more transactional for me to get this bag um than I had anticipated. Anyway, it it's sort of like what everyone's talking about in terms of their journey. Like sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not. And I feel like there's been a little shift even in my own journey. Um, Again, I'm not ending my journey like a lot of you are, but it does feel like I'm not getting as much good attention or as good of a service. I don't know if it has anything to do with just like the surge of extra clients or a mix of that plus the economy kind of like stabilizing. Now more people are shopping. Um, I don't know. I mean, in any case, none of my bags have been easy, and this one was no exception. It was sort of like, yeah, it felt so transactional to get this bag. And I felt like I wasn't treated the same way because many people, including people in Vancouver, were able to get their consents not as a quota bag, whereas mine counted as a quota bag, which is why I can't get another bag this year. So that didn't make it the most wonderful experience. But otherwise, I love this bag. I actually do love this bag. It's a really good bag.
Yeah. I mean, the experience definitely dampers the whole
Yeah,
purchase, the entire thing, right? Apparently, like, oh my gosh, so wonderful to get this back. But when it's transactional, it does leave a little dent there, like, okay. It makes
yeah,
you wonder, right? It makes you wonder, especially today, if you can get your bags. I mean, we can get our bags so much more, um I won't say cheaper, but less
more
pre-spend
accessible,
value from the
easier.
resale.
Yeah,
Yeah, you can get exactly the one you want, no pain. Just pay a little bit more and get it from the resale market, brand freaking new. Don't go through this whole ding dong uncertainty. So knowing that and then being put through it is a double whammy. It's like, are you joking?
yeah, yeah. A- Again, like I said, I don't know. I feel like some people know who my essay is just because they may have seen me in the store, but again, nobody is like I'm not putting the fault on anybody, not on my essay or anything. I feel like they have their they have their bosses to answer to. I get it, but it's also I don't know, like why does Hermes have this policy? My mom's not a fan of it, by the way. It's like my mom never really cares about buying, like she doesn't even buy luxury, let alone like because I've been taking her all along. This is something that maybe is a good conversation to have. Maybe in the members live, it's gonna be a fun conversation. But just to give you an idea, like she was with me in Hong Kong, right? I was traveling with her only, and so anytime I went to any luxury stores, I mean, who else am I gonna bring? Of course, I'm gonna bring my mom, and I tell her to not worry. Like she doesn't need to buy anything. Like she's not into it, right? But also to not be quote unquote scared, be nervous just because it's a luxury store. Like don't be nervous because you're allowed to look, right? And so I was the one doing the buying and like the socializing and then trying to create a relationship. And after several visits, my mom's like, you know what, Chanel is so much better. Chanel, you can just buy whatever you want, whereas Hermes, you have to like almost like tit for tat, right? Like you have to do something, then they do something, and then she's not into it, and I'm like, you know what, I don't blame you because we do it because we have to. But at the same time, I'm like, if I wasn't into their bags, I would not want to do it either. It's sort of like a compromise that I have to do at this point. But it goes to show, right? And it adds to the experience, or maybe it negates some of the experiences, right? Like that's why even though I have a long-term relationship here with my local store, it hasn't been the smoothest, and like each bag has its own challenge. And like with this bag this year anyway, it was a bit deceiving the way I understood how it was going to be, because many people in the recent year have been able to get the Constance not as a quota bag, Whereas mine counted like for sure 100% it was, because I triple checked and I can't get anything else this year, right? So sort of like, where is that? Why? How is that fair, right? Compared to even the same people shopping in the same store, like I don't get it. I absolutely have no idea why, and I don't know if it's a timing issue, but yeah. Yeah.
Let me pull a few questions.
And when they say that, oh, it depends on the essay and it depends on the manager, well, how is that fair, right? Because like they have several managers working at the same store, several essays working. How is this essay not the same as that essay? Like, why? You know, like policy wise, how is that? Why is it not the same? So that made it not as pleasant with this bag.
All right, let me pull a few things. And this is from Julie. I think it's the same sort of question to you, Amy. So, Amy, are you going to ask your HSA for a possible Christmas quota bag? No harm in asking. Yeah, I think the Constance 18 non-quota.
Good question.
Your boutique is in the boutique. And then I think a lot of H gets a lot of bags for the holidays, especially year end. Some boutiques already met their KPI for Q4, so give out bags. Like it doesn't count towards the store figures.
Yeah. No, totally. I totally agree.
Are you gonna try and ask?
No, I have, but like not in a way of like, oh, I must get this, and then like it's like a conversation that's a little hard to have when, you know, this is already my quote unquote quota bag, right? So she's not asking me for specs or anything. It's more like a, oh, by the way, is there anything, right? It's sort of like that. I was also away for a long time, right? I didn't I think the last time I picked up anything, was it in October or was it in September? I don't even remember, because I was away the whole November and then I was preparing for my trip in October. So I was so busy before my trip, and then I just came back, but the jet lag is real. Like literally I'm still feeling a little jet lag as of like, it's almost what, 5 days now, 5 days since I was back. It's still like I haven't been shopping, right? So I feel like I haven't seen my essay in the longest stretch of time. So in a way, we haven't talked about quota bag, but if I do see her, I will definitely bring it up again. But how much, like there's only like what, 3 weeks left in December, so maybe it'll just roll over and then something will happen. Who knows, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes, and I don't know, maybe they, I wonder, like sometimes they do offer holiday bags, but it's like after December 31st, which means you're gonna pay the new price. And then at that point, I'm like not as motivated to ask right away, because I could wait, you know, like why pay the new price right away when you can just pay the new price throughout the year? Like sometimes I think like that too. So yeah. I'll definitely bring it up again when I see.
You should just try. J. Claire is asking, will you guys apply protective film on your H logo? No.
No, but you know what I did? So I did say that, right? That I was gonna leave the stickers on and then use it up on, like use up the bag and during my trip. So some of the corners have started lifting. It's kind of okay still, but it's getting ugly. You can see like right here.
Oh, take it out.
And
get
like
rid of
right
it.
Here. Yeah, I'm waiting to take it out. Like I feel like this has to have like an IG moment or something. I'm
like
so bad at
it.
Like I'm so bad at being an IG. Like I haven't even posted on IG the whole month up until today. So I feel like I need to start filming more stuff just to post.
Like if I see somebody walking with that bag, I'll be like, ooh. Come here.
But you know what? Even though I hated it, like, because I hated it in Hong Kong, I was like looking at my back, like, ooh, it could be so much nicer. But I was I was leaving it on purpose because I was literally opening, closing so much, right, in Hong Kong. So I'm glad that I kept it on at least for my trip. But now that I'm back, I can take it off. Yeah, I can definitely take it off. This is a good way to kind of preserve for longer. I mean, it's still gonna get scratched. But now that I'm more used to the bag, I think closing it is also easier now. But yeah, to answer your question, I don't plan on putting any other after I remove this. I don't plan on putting another sticker on it because yeah, it's so much nicer without a sticker. And I'm also
Yeah.
worried about the you know, like the glue stuff.
J. Clary said, I saw you in Ion last Sunday. So pretty. Thank
Ah,
you. But I was like, when I saw this, I was like, was I in Ion last week? I
were
was like,
you?
I for a moment I don't remember. I told you this whole week I've been sick, right? So every day feels like, wait, what was I doing in Ion last Sunday? Oh yeah,
Were you passing by?
I met my friend for lunch. I think at 3. Yeah, 3. And then after that, I think I went into Sephora and then I ran away because
Ah,
oh yeah, I remember why. Because we had lunch somewhere in Ion, up some Surrey Hills or something. It's like some secluded part of Ion. And by the time we finished, it was maybe about 4:30, tea time. Then I came down and it was Black Friday weekend. Last weekend was Black Friday weekend. And I was thinking, you know what? I'll take a look. I'll walk around and see what's up for the deals. I don't think I walked in Ion longer than half an hour because it was crazy packed. Everybody was rushing for the last minute deals on Sunday. They were
yeah.
like 30% off there, 50% get 5%. And I think Sephora was having 20%. And it's madness. I didn't stay long. I just could not handle the crowd. Maybe that's where I picked up the bug.
Yeah, it could be anywhere, unfortunately. Couldn't see the bug, right? I mean, that's the thing with I was so you know, I was thinking ahead of time back then. Remember, I was so like kind of a bit worried that if I wasn't feeling well, like if I was sick on top of just like, you know, having to just walk every day, I would be so like it would be ruining the trip a little bit, right? So I made sure to really be diligent with my vitamins and everything. And so good thing it worked out. But yeah,
Yeah.
it's so hard to avoid it sometimes when I mean it could be just as easy as opening a door handle, which is why I always keep sanitizer like really like after opening the handle, anything I always spray and it's so easy to forget. But I think I'm a little bit OCD about it now that I always do it. So I'm pretty good at it. So I almost wonder if this has helped me not get sick yet, which is, you know, good. But yeah, sometimes I like, you know, because I'm not just by myself, right? I'm with friends or I'm with like my family. And when I see them opening doors and then like they sit down, they start eating, I'm like, let's sprit your hands because they might end up touching something I might touch too, right? Like the common chopsticks, or I don't know, maybe they fill up my cup and then they use their hand to fill it up. Like I just like let's spritz, and I just spritz them. You know, I'm totally okay to spritz other people. I just prefer having you just don't see it, right? Like maybe your hands are clean, but you just don't see it. So
You don't see it.
yeah,
Yeah, I
that's
think
the
yeah,
problem.
maybe that's where I caught this bug because if I calculate backwards, I felt a little ill on Tuesday. So if I work
Mm,
backwards, it has to be a day that I was in crowds, and that was the only day because I haven't been to Ion for a long time. Okay, and I decided on that day, I was like, oh, let's walk around, and I went around, and they were like everyone was there, like the whole world. Even Jay Clarice was there who saw me.
yeah.
Like it was so packed. Then Monday and then Tuesday was when I went overseas and I was like, damn, what the
Yeah.
heck? Anyway, let's see this. Oh, yeah, I totally agree with this comment from Clarice. H nowadays treat new clients better. Long-term clients like us, we're not VIPs, we're just long-term clients, right? They're not treated as good already. Sometimes my quota is higher than newbies. I totally agree, which is why we were complaining about hey, we've been working this brand for the past few years. It's about time to cut us some slack. But it feels like it's still either the same kind of uphill battle or worse. It feels like, hey, maybe we are the one who is at fault for for expecting slack. So it's like,
At fault.
yeah, like, no, who are you to expect you get any better treatment?
Oh.
Who are you?
Mm.
So that's a misalignment of expectations. Like Hermes just says, you got to do your duty all the while. We all thought we did the duty. Shouldn't he get better? So now we're like, no, it didn't.
I
No such
think it's
thing.
also a little hard with Hermes because it's kind of funny, right? Like they say outside of Hermes, they always say that the things that you work the hardest for are the things that you appreciate the most, and things that are free you don't appreciate. Like that, not
True.
word by word, but that's how human nature is. It's kind of funny, right? Like you receive a sample from somewhere, you're not going to appreciate it as much as you having to work hard for getting something. And it's maybe a concept that they understand too well. Like they are doing such a good job at making sure that we're always working hard for our each and every bag. I mean, maybe not every single person gets treated that way, but like I think the majority of us at least.
Oh wait, I have to get his book, but let me just continue. Let me just.
Okay. Like I feel like a lot of us on this community, we've had our challenges, right? And it's just, yeah, it's definitely working. And why do we even do it, right? It's kind of like the same, like you're the one to be blamed. If you keep doing it, it's still your fault because like you could just stop buying there. But at the same time, I still want to buy from there. Like that's the thing. Like I'm bitter a little bit, but I'm also like, oh, but I still want to continue buying because I still have some things I want. Although if you ask me right this minute, because I even saw like a comment earlier, are you gonna like just try, right? Because they might have I think it was also from the same person, like they might have fulfilled their quota, therefore they can be more generous. But the thing is, like at this point I don't even know what to ask, because if I'm gonna ask, it's gonna be the same bags that are already owned but just in different colors, and I can't make up my mind what to pick because I'm so used to just getting the neutrals, and I don't know if I'm ready to deviate from that. Do you know what I mean? And if I'm gonna get a light neutral, is it gonna be another? Oh, I'm gonna be scared to use. Like my Kelly 28 is such a beautiful bag. It's my favorite white color that they have right now. And yet it's a little delicate bag, right? Because it's a white bag, and so I don't really use it everywhere. I'm not carefree with it. I'm not gonna lie. And so do I really want to go through another bag like that? And these are not cheap bags. It's a 5-figure bag, so it's sort of like although I want another bag, but at the same time I'm kind of like not rushing it because even I'm not sure what I want in a way. Yeah, it's a very big, it's a turmoil, and yet yeah, we still continue, right? Like eventually I'll buy something. Like I mean, eventually I'll get another bag, I'm sure, right? It's just a matter of time, but what and when is the question.
Yeah. You're saying that, the how Hermes does this whole, it's not free. You have to work for it. They understand it a little bit too well. So this is a book that I've been reading. I It's been hard because I've been in and out of being sick, right? But it's called Hooked. Okay, it's called Hooked
Yeah.
by Near El, and it's not for Hermes, but it's more about technology, how companies can get people so hooked onto, say, like social media, and you create habits around the things that you do. So I've only reached a little bit. I'm like, look at my little bookmark. Anyway, this book has this chart here, which because Hermes is all about psychology, right? They say the more you do, the more you invest, and then it's a circular thing.
Yeah.
It's so true, So okay, so let's think about like Instagram. Why are people so hooked onto going, like, it's become habitual, how you just cannot stop yourself from opening Instagram. So they say it starts off with a trigger, right? So the
Mm.
trigger is, there are two types of triggers. There's one that's external and there's one internal. So when it becomes an internal trigger, you're hooked. So external triggers are things like somebody telling you, hey, go and, have you checked out the photo on Instagram? Have you seen that story? Have you seen this? Do you know about Instagram? So external triggers, starting the habit. So you're triggered to like, oh, download the app. You saw an ad to download Instagram, Facebook, so things like that, right? So that's an external trigger. Then the action is to actually click on it, open it, right? Click on somebody's story. You see a pop-up, you open it. The action is the person doing it. And then from being triggered and you taking an action to press on a story, to add somebody's follow, you get a reward from it. So the reward is either you see somebody's story, you see somebody's life, you get an update on knowledge. So that's a reward. But reward in this model, to make it sort of enticing, it's not just a reward. Every time I click, I see cat's face, cat's face again. Cat's face is like, after a while, you're like, okay, I get it. I'll see cat's face. But if the reward is variable, sometimes it's cat's face, sometimes it's Nato's face, sometimes it's me and my family, sometimes it's, ooh, my new handbag. Because you don't know the reward, what the reward is, it becomes very enticing to see what my action of clicking on Kat's profile will be. And then I have to invest in it, meaning the investment is maybe my time. Maybe if it's games, right? Maybe I have to pay a little bit. So then I get that whole cycle again. So if you think about Hermes, right, it's actually so similar. Because
Yeah.
now we have an external trigger, right? We're there. And then the action is to go to the store. But every time we go to the store, we don't know what is the reward, right? The reward is maybe there's a bag. And then the thing is, you don't even know the bag. So the variable reward is like, oh, is it
Yeah.
a brown gold bag? Is it this bag? And then because you have to invest, that's why it's not free. You have to invest, you have to pay, you have to buy. You get hooked. So I was like, when I was reading this book mainly for work, I was like, holy cow, man. The
And it's not
internal, and
even
it
just the bag.
turns into an
It
internal
could be just
trigger, right?
buying like
There's nobody telling
six
me anymore.
sandals.
Yeah.
Like just the popular items, they're sometimes really hard to get as well. And you
Correct.
don't know if they like, you maybe like you just randomly ask for a rodeo or some other treats, like treats, not because they don't have a bag for you every time you go, right? But like just random things that you might be interested, that you didn't foresee buying also. Even
Yeah.
those are exciting in a way, that it's an exciting journey, but it's also hard because
You
you're
don't even
working
know, right?
hard
Every
at
time you go to the store, the action is to go there, right? You might the reward could be a bag, like you said. It could be, oh my god, you got the shoes. Oh my god, you have this. Oh my god, and then you buy it, which is the investment, and
it.
then
Yeah.
it starts again, because yes, there is one. The main reward that you want to get is the bag, right? But it goes on and on and on and on, and the next thing you know, you're totally hooked, because there's no more nobody asking you to go to the store. There's no more external triggers. It's internal. You're like, ooh, I need to go to the store. It's like, oh, when I wake up in the morning, I have to open Instagram. It becomes almost subconscious. So It's real. And then once that happens, it is a hard cycle to break. Super hard because it becomes a habit. So when I read, I was like, oh, we gotta break this cycle. But
The
it's
only way
so
to break
hard.
the cycle it's very hard, because the only way to break the cycle, in my opinion, is if you haven't started, then you don't understand what this addiction is, right? This
Yeah.
like tight, like you're motivating yourself to go, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you're doing the whole thing yourself. It's not really the essay trying to, I mean, they do encourage you to buy things while you're there, but I don't think it's not really them that gave you the idea to start buying. Usually that's not the case. It's you wanting to buy first. You show up, you wanting to create that relationship, you wanting to get that bag eventually. It's all you. So I think the only way to not do it, or maybe that also explains why there's such a polarity. Like even in the audience, right? You see it in the comments. Sometimes you're like, I don't get why all of you, like all of you Hermes fans, like why all of you like would just pour your money there, or just I don't see why
We're
I
hooked.
would buy
We're
this kind
hooked.
of
Read the
bag.
book. You
Right?
can't.
And that's the thing, they don't get it because they're not in it. And
Yeah,
like
don't
it's not
start.
a wrong or a right answer. It's just you do it or you don't do it, right? It's sort of like if you've never done it, then that's the easiest way to not be in it, and it's the easiest way to not get hooked, because you won't be, because you're not in it. Whereas
Yeah.
if you have tried it already and you get a taste of it, especially after your first few really exciting purchases, and then of course after your first nice quota bag, then you're hooked. Like that's the
Yep.
like if you want to unhook, you have to like not go, literally like cold turkey, not go, and it's like hard.
It's
Yeah.
hard. So actually, another example, most like this one, not even Hermes, or is those blind boxes from Pop Mart. It is
Okay, I'm
exactly
not
it.
into that.
No, but I mean, if you
But
follow the
I
same
know what you mean, but I'm not
four
into.
quadrants, right? External triggers. Somebody says, "Oh my God, la boo boo." They're like, "What the heck is this?" Then the action is to buy one dang thing, right? But because it's a variable reward, you don't know what you're getting.
Yeah.
Whatever, every time I open the box, I don't know what I'm getting. It could be this fellow, that fellow. So then, because it's variable, I'm not picking the one that I want. It becomes very addictive because the anticipation is like, which one is it, right? Then you open it and you're like, oh my God, it's the green one. And then you get excited because you're hooked. Then you're like, okay, I leave. But then you invest again because you buy it again. And then it goes one big circle, and every time it's a variable reward, variable. And then every time come a new stuff, new picture, new 6 boxes. It's insane. And then you just start chasing it. So
And it's actually, I'm gonna pull this comment, even though it's not directly relevant, but it's gonna be a little relevant after I explain it. It's funny your mom said that. I totally went back completely to Chanel. I'm done with Hermes. Too transactional. I have no pleasure shopping there, but Chanel is still treating me well. So I agree, but only partially as well, because I don't know if you guys all remember, because again, maybe it's different in different circumstances here, since we only have one store, and it's really limited when you only have one store. You have no other choice, right, but to go to the same store. So in a way, it's a little harder. But even Chanel, even they know what they're doing, because although they don't have the more like they don't have the same, I don't know if you can call it formal, because it's not formal. They don't have the same policy as Hermes, where you have to be a loyal long-term client. Like you have to be shopping there basically, right? They may not say it out loud, like you need to spend 1-to-1, 2-to-1. They may not say it. Sometimes they do. I don't know why it's different. But it's pretty much common knowledge and an understanding that you have to be doing a bit of shopping, wait a little bit of time, then you get your potential quota bag, right? Your wish list. With Chanel, although it's not like quite like that every time, but with Vancouver, it's resembling a little bit of the quota system because it's more limited. They are reserving their best bags or their most coveted bags just for the people who shop the most. And if you're not in that category, and since they only get what 10, 20 of those bags, let's say, right? Then yeah, you're not going to get those bags for a long time. Maybe eventually you'll be able to get it. After many seasons, after everyone's like the main big VIP shoppers have gotten their bags and they don't want to get the same thing anymore, then you get your turn. And although it's not directly like a 100% the same policy or same resemblance system as Hermes, it's quite similar in a way. It's just a little bit it's just a little bit more kind of like managed by the own store or by the own like essays, I suppose. And occasionally you'll get a really nice essay that maybe you didn't buy all the ready to wear and all the other accessories to get offered a very coveted bag. Because I used to have an essay that, you know, she tried her best for me. It wasn't always working, like she didn't always get everything I want, but like she tried, right? There may be cases like that, but yeah, even Chanel in Vancouver anyway, it's very much like a quota system in a way. It's not so clear cut, but it's almost like that. Because why the heck was I not able to get this bag that I wanted to get for like over a year here? It's the same thing. And I mean, I think my mom felt like Chanel was better because Hong Kong is a little different. They have more variety, they have more stock, they have the economy of scale. They have how many Chanel stores there? Like 6, 7? I don't know.
What?
They have a lot.
That's
if
a
this
lot.
Store didn't have it, go to the next one. That store didn't have it, go to the next one, and up until you get one. And even if they didn't have it, let's say, because maybe you're a little late, they may still have more stock trickling in. And actually, a very kind of peculiar thing that happened to me while I was there, I think because I was there at the launch, a lot of their coveted colors were display only. And even I couldn't buy it right away. Some of the things I wanted to buy, I couldn't buy right away. And that gives you also the incentive, like you're hooked already because you want to buy it, but you can't buy it. But the essay will keep you in mind when it's available. And so like it's another sort of psychology. It's the same thing, but it may be a little less obvious than Hermes, but it's the same thing as well.
Yeah. But I don't know if Chanel has that kind of pool. Like
Yeah, they don't have to approve your profile. Like the manager doesn't have to do all that stuff. It's more managed by, I think, the essays within themselves. They just have an understanding like, oh, I feel like that's how they are. Like they just, I feel like they
I
do
mean,
a
like
bit of exchange.
they don't have that kind of like they try to do like what Hermes is doing, right? Hold some of the prestigious bags, but at the same time, they can't seem to get it. They can't get what Hermes is doing, you know? Like,
oh no, yeah.
Is it because they're a little bit too late to the game that people don't believe that they will be able to do it? You know, they're trying to move their bags up the price bracket, like the classics. But are you gonna play the game for a classic flap?
No, I don't think they will have the same power because although they say it's handmade, but it's not. I feel like they're still producing in a mass, like a very large number, whereas Hermes doesn't have the same capacity to. I mean, what I know, right? Like, I don't know for sure, but like, I feel like that's what is happening. That Hermes can only, if they want to keep a certain standard, they have like their pace is so much slower, therefore they just don't have as much supply as Chanel would. Plus Chanel has so many seasonal bags. So if you're only looking to buy classics, then yeah, that's a little harder if you're like specific for the color, whatever. But a lot of the people
I think it's a totally different business model. If Chanel wants to play the Hermes game, it's like taking down their entire production by more than half, which they can't because they have ramped up themselves to be a mass market luxury brand, fashion brand, where they will churn out like 50 bags per season out of 6 seasons, tons of shoes and tons of colors and SLGs every season, and 6 of them. So because people have variety, it's really hard to have a coveted item that you can make your customers wait, because if I don't get this one, I'll just get something else in your entire arsenal of things. So to ask people to say, oh, get this coveted bag this season, by the way, you have to pre-spend many things, it's not gonna happen. I don't think there's any the only way Chanel can, if they ever want to do a coveted pre-spend, oh my god, so hard to get kind of bag, is that they really change the entire business model. Because how many bags, like you say, right? How many bags do Hermes churns out? One per season, probably from 1 or 2 maybe, and that bag doesn't even appear until like 2 years later.
Yeah. They're new bags, and the runway doesn't appear until much later. At which point you almost like
I forgot about it. Like, where's this bag from?
The other thing also that Hermes is a little bit more attractive, at least I find so, is that they are really good at their different métiers. Like when they do scarf, they do scarf really well. When they do jewelry, fine jewelry, that is, diamonds, they do them really, really well. I mean, they're really expensive. You pay for it, but their pieces, their pieces are so nice. And I mean, the only category that I'm still like, I'm gonna be more critical, because I think everyone can agree, is they're ready to wear. They're not quite there yet. Because I think they're trying to be trendy sometimes, but then they still have also a whole line, and they tend to be quite repetitive. Like it's always the same shape, it's always the same t-shirt, it's always the same pants, and their fitting is also all over the place. Sometimes they're way too loose, baggy, to the point where you're down to size 32 and you're still floating in it, and like what? Or sometimes it's too fitted and you're like, what? Like, why is there no consistency? Like I feel like their ready to wear is the only thing that I can ding them for, that I'm not finding it too perfect. But otherwise, their other, like all the accessories, the small leather goods, their belts, even their costume jewelry is kind of fun. I mean, I'm not into it, but everything else, they do it so well. So and their tableware, everyone's into their tableware, right? Like you just get very satisfied in a way when you buy those things, because you know and you can expect a level of quality that you're used to, and that you feel like even though it's expensive, it's almost like it's worth it. It's not worth it, but you know what I mean, right? Like you buy something, you know the quality is going to be there, whereas with Chanel, it's a hit or miss. You really have to look at the quality of the piece that you're getting. Hopefully you were able to check it out before you pay for it. There's always that danger. Chanel ready to wear, on the other hand, is better. Actually, their ready to wear is more consistent. But then, can everybody afford ready to wear? Their ready to wear is really expensive. So it's almost that too. I feel like with Hermes, even though their other métier doesn't sell themselves, but if you do get into it and you you have to do the journey, or like you have to buy it. You have to buy those things to get to the bag eventually. At least you buy into, even like these, right? Like these, I bought them. I don't wear them, but they're still really nice. They're really like, they're perfect in every way. Like there's just, they're thick silk. The print is like extra beautiful. There's no like bleeding of the print. Like it's just so well made. They're so well made. And so it's almost like, you know, you're not even so mad at it that you're not using it. It's almost like a piece of art. You're like, it's okay if I'm not using it. It's a piece of art. Like, I mean, not really, but you know what I mean, right? Like they do their stuff really, really, really well. It's almost, if there is a perfection in handmaking, it's almost there.
I'm gonna pull a few comments here. Viv is saying, I like H items, but it's sad that our essays are too greedy, draining the passion bit by bit. I do agree with that. Julie say, I think with H, they always have to get new clients because those in for the quarterbacks will eventually leave. Chanel is different in that it's Chanel in a way. The aesthetic is totally different. I agree with this totally. Because if you're just there for the bags, after a while, it does, yeah, it'll fade off. Because, I mean, I'm in it for the bags, which is probably why I am fading off. I don't mind buying the clothes and shoes on and off because, like Amy, you said, it's good quality. But they're quite repetitive. And because they're so well made, I mean, I'm still using the stuff. It's a mix. Like how many Birkins? I'm not made of money, so how many Birkins and they look the same? Am I gonna wear? And also, how many same T-shirts am I gonna wear? After a while, you will have enough to last you a long time. The unfortunate thing is Hermes doesn't vary their ready to wear or their shoes very much. So even though I may hang around to buy some of their stuff and, you know, be blessed with a bag one day, I mean, their stuff is the same. So, which is why I think a lot of us end up going back to Chanel or just stopping altogether because you already got a few Birkins or you got a few Kellys or you got a few or whatever you want. Then it's really hard to continue because the stuff that I bought 5 years ago is still the same. It's like, I
don't know if I would call, if I ever were to like stop, right? If I would call going back to Chanel because I still feel like I would have things I want to buy at Hermes, just like there are things that I want to buy at Chanel because I don't ever consider myself having left or into Chanel like that, to that level, if that makes sense. I mean, I'm also very selective when I buy things at Chanel. So I feel like with Hermes, I try to be selective while you know that you can't be too selective. Otherwise, you end up buying nothing and then you'll never get a bag. So in a way, I don't know if I will call it stopping Hermes because there are still things that I actually really enjoy from Hermes. Shoes, for example, is one of them. Their scarves also are really, really beautiful. And even they're ready to wear, okay? Like, okay, their ready to wear is not fantastic all across the board, but once in a while they'll come up with something like this and it's like amazing. And you're wondering like, why would I pay 5 times more for something like this at Chanel, right? Like, it just doesn't make any sense. So I think both brands have their strength, but for sure Chanel is a style. It's the aesthetic. It's a style. Hermes, I almost feel like you go there for the quality and also you go there for the staples. I think that's how I feel about them because while their scarves are more kind of like daring and the design's really different every time, but other than their scarves, everything else is more repeatable, right? Like shoes, if they break, you buy another pair, you just replace them. But they're more like the staples for me at this point. These kind of tops, I always buy them in a black and in a white. They're more like staples for me. Like even their t-shirts, I don't go for the Actually, I haven't bought a t-shirt, but like if I were to buy a t-shirt, I would just go for the staple. I want to buy like a more plain top. Maybe jackets, you can be a bit more sort of like different print, but even then it can't be too crazy, because otherwise you'll just have a hard time styling them, which is why one of the jackets I end up being in this list, right? This worst purchase list, because it's a little harder to style. Like the color is just a little too warm, like you guys were saying. So I feel like Hermes would just become like Chanel for me. I just buy here and there, and then like I just buy very selectively, and then eventually, hopefully, like a bag will happen. But it will definitely be more, actually, be less of an expectation, more of like a hope, more of like,
Yeah.
oh, it'd be nice,
Yeah.
about the bag.
Oh,
Yeah.
before we continue, before I forget or we forget about
Oh yes.
this month, we have to if you saw our calendar, we have a members sharing. So members, I think on the 14th or 15th of the calendar, which is actually next week. We should have announced it last month, but we forgot.
Yeah.
Okay, we forgot. So if you're a member, please send us some pictures of your best and your worst purchase for 2024. Drop us some emails. Our emails are actually in the description section. So
Yeah, I'll
yeah,
just add it now just in case.
yep, edit now before we forget. We'll remind again next week. Next week's a members live. But yeah, please, best could just be one, and worst for 2024. We want to see your stuff now. Like our stuff is like
Yeah, because it's gonna be a member sharing session, which is it next week already? Oh my gosh.
It is.
Members.
So
Please
send it to us
email
like anytime next week. Don't send it on that day, okay?
Yeah. Send it earlier, please. You can send it both to Kat and I, or I will manage. Like we'll just share between us. We'll create the slides between us.
The bestest of your best this year. The worstest of the worst.
Please email us your entries. Okay.
Yeah, send us the pictures. If you don't have time to put pictures, so never mind. Just put the name. We'll find a picture on Google. So I don't have
No,
time.
just send us the picture anyway. It takes you a minute to do it. So
I
much
know.
fun.
Maybe they have to dig it out from their cupboard, take a photo.
Oh, okay, fine.
Don't have time. And then also tells why is it the best? Why is it the worst?
Yeah, a little description.
That would be very helpful. Okay, while you do that, let me pull this comment. Julie saying, I guess, my question for a true H client is, will we continue to shop at Hermes if no quarterback is ever given? I think for most of the clients, the answer will be no. Man, if I didn't have to do pre-spend, obviously, what the heck? Who wants to pre-spend? Just give me the bag.
Hold on, I'm not looking at the
I just want to get the bag.
Let me just finish this. Okay, save. Save. So it will be updating the comment, like in the description below this live video, you will find our emails if you don't already have it. What's the comment?
No, I said, Julie saying that, will we continue to shop at Hermes if no quarterback is given? I think for most of the clients, the answer will be no.
Yeah, again, I will continue to shop, but not at the level I'm at right now. I'll be buying the random things. Because even before I started buying Hermes, I did buy a couple of items from Hermes. I bought their belt, and then at one point I bought their bracelet. It just didn't fit, so I had to return it because I bought it online. But those are the things that I would buy, like just really random stuff that would fit into my wardrobe, but like will add to a functionality to my wardrobe. I feel like they're more functional Hermes items for me rather than rather than the style and the aesthetic. I mean, the style sometimes is good too. Don't get me wrong. I feel like people are gonna take this the wrong way. I feel like people are gonna be like, oh yeah, Hermes is like you're just buying it because of the bag. No, sometimes their style is quite nice too. Like their Kelly belts really style very well. Um, yeah, a lot of their shoes actually look really, really good. And so it'll just be super random things and not as strategic of a shopping pattern for sure. Actually, it's not that random. It's really specific items, very specific items. They're not random at all. It would be like literally the 8 shoes, the belts, the scarves, and it would just be things like that. It wouldn't be also ready to wear and this jacket and I don't know that
Yeah.
whatever cup
Yeah.
or like I don't care for their cups that much actually.
I think if there was no quota bag ever offered, I think you'll be like you, right? I will buy random things. So I'd buy their makeup for sure because I
Yeah,
like
their
to
makeup's
explore.
good.
Yeah, the makeup's nice. Fancy Hermes makeup, like ooh. Then shoes. Okay, some of the shoes it has to be like specific, like really good ones. Like I buy some Chanel shoes and I don't get any quota back from it, so it will be similar. So
Yeah.
shoes. I would buy their decorative items. So say big fancy house or brand new house, I buy a couple of their pillows just to decorate for fun. It'll look nice. Like if Chanel sold their pillows, that Chanel CC pillows, which I don't know how I'll get them, I buy it. It's kind of fun. Like, oh, you got Chanel pillow. I'd buy that. That look nice. Um, yeah, but I don't think I would buy their ready to wear much. I think maybe 1 or 2 pieces. Like I have a few pieces of Chanel, but it's very selective. Like it has to fit my life. But I won't buy more than what I buy now. Like I buy a jacket or two, sure. Um, Jewelry. Let's see. I do buy Chanel jewelry. I have their rings. So I guess in that same mentality, I would buy some Hermes jewelry, but it would be very, very specific. Like something that I totally cannot live without. Okay. What else? Yeah, the one thing that I won't buy for sure is the watch. I bought that
uh,
watch that is definitely pre-spent, 100% bought for the bait. Okay, that's
Birkin
definitely
bait.
a Birkin bait. Bait twice.
Yeah, the watches are
Baited
bait.
twice.
And another one, you know what? It totally gave me the answer to because I was like thinking, what else would I buy, right? Because I totally would buy those, except I will only buy it in the secondary market. It's their fine jewelry. I actually love their diamond jewelry.
Yeah, actually, the fine
It's
jewelry is
so nice.
nice, but yeah, secondary market for sure.
I'd definitely buy from the resale market if I wasn't after a bag. Like that is 100% like ready to wear. I'm okay to buy in the store because it's fine. It's not like so crazy expensive. Their jewelry, on the other hand, is crazy expensive. So
Yeah.
yeah, everything else like shoes, belts, scarves, even ready to wear to a certain point, right? I'm okay to buy in store. It almost feels like I'm still buying everything in the store, but what I meant is like it's still going to be really, really more selective. Jewelry, on the other hand, no. Reseller, baby, half price.
More than half price now. There is this yeah, my ring was more than it's like only 30% of the cost.
That's so
Uh
awesome.
Crazy. Crazy. Their stuff, yeah, the jewelry is like ah.
The other thing, I guess, but less common here, but probably in Asia will be a good one to buy, is the expensive ready-to-wear, like their leather pieces or the big coat, cashmere, whatever. Like those are, if you were to buy it in the store, they still cost an arm and a leg. They're still not as much as Chanel would be, but they can still get quite expensive. So those ones I would maybe look in the secondary market. But even then, I don't know. I find they're ready to wear to a certain point. It's almost like, okay, now we're getting in the territory of like, is this just like just like any brand can make type of style? Then I'm kind of wondering, like, do I even want to buy this even in the secondary market? So it really depends if it's like such a nice piece, like great cutting or great leather. I don't know. Like with Chanel, there's always style. There's always something, some detail that you're like, wow, I would buy it just because of the button, like that kind of thing. Chanel's definitely another category in its own. They're very, very strong aesthetically. Definitely you were splurging because of the brand, because of the branding, because of the button, because of I don't know, the way they make their jackets, their tweed.
Isn't there a new designer for Chanel now?
Yeah,
Wait, I saw
apparently.
like some Bottega guy is taking over Chanel, right? Oh yeah. I saw that on somebody's post. I can't remember who posted it, but Bottega's creative designer, I think, is Chanel's creative designer. I foresee weaves,
um,
and I mean they're kind of aesthetically almost the same, right? They're all like this kind of thing anyway.
the quilt and the weaves.
Right, they're kind of
I'm
similar, right?
sorry, it has to be quilts. I'm sorry, it has to be quilts. Chanel is
Yeah.
quilting quilts.
Yeah,
Anyway,
so
we'll
it'll
see.
it'll be something like that. I don't know. We're gonna see some weird stuff in Chanel. Ugh.
Well, let's just see. I mean, I haven't even had time to look at the new but then I don't know if the new designer designed the new collection, the métier d'art next year. I haven't had the time to even watch the runway.
Oh yeah, the Mizida recently. I saw Maddie posted a little bit on her stories, and it looked nice, but I don't know.
It's always nice though.
Yeah, it's always nice.
Yeah. I mean, even Hermes's runway is really nice. But then the stuff that they have commercially is different. They may have a couple of things from the runway, but it's not everything. And so in a way, I find Hermes runway show is not quite like, it's exciting to watch, but then you're like, oh, is this even gonna be sold? Because if it's not, which a lot of their things are not sold until much, 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 much later, like 2 years later, then it's kind of not as exciting. Because you watch it, you're like, oh, okay, I get the vibe. And I still get excited for it because it's still nice to look at. It's like a video, right? A theme. But I just don't get excited for the fact that I don't know if I'll be able to buy this exact same top they were wearing in that video. Or that bag, or that, I don't know, strap that they put on the bag. Like those things don't come until much later. Where Chanel, although they have their shows much anticipated, but what you see in the runway is usually going to be sold in store. And especially if you are able to order ahead, because some stores you can look at the runway and then you can order ahead. I don't know if that's done in Vancouver. I mean, I've never heard of anybody doing that here, so maybe it's just not available here. But I know Hong Kong is so prevalent. Like you can just watch the show. They actually have people walk the show. I mean, walk the runway in the store. They'll have like a mini fashion show in Hong Kong, and then you can order stuff ahead of time. So we don't have that. But that's more exciting in a way, right? Like you see what's coming and you can buy it. You can order it ahead of time and you can anticipate it.
Speaking about ordering ahead of time, you know, everybody's going like, I think I'm on my news feed or my YouTube feed. It's like non-stop LV Murakami multicolor.
Oh
Like
yeah, 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 yeah,
like
yeah.
crazy. So I actually tried to place an order on the day of the pre-order in Singapore with my essay here in Singapore for the Nano Speedy. But it's like the whole world apparently was trying to get the bags. It was sold out, like the system, like the back end system, like so it was sold out within like half an hour. Of the pre-order amounts for all the nanos were gone. How crazy is that? I didn't anticipate that this launch would be so. I knew it was very anticipated, but I didn't think it'd be that mad. So she had to apologize, and I was like, okay, never mind. Not meant to be. Save my money. It's going to Hermes.
But is it though? Or I don't know for sure. I almost feel like companies do that. They say, "Oh yeah, it's all sold out," and then lo and behold, they have a couple waiting in the back. They're just waiting to release it later, so that you kind of build that anticipation. You build that like, "Oh my gosh, I really want it now because I can't get it." It's like I feel like they do that. Every company, I'm sure they do that to a certain
Yeah,
extent.
so
I'm not sure how
she
they
was like,
manage
yeah, so
it.
the essay is like, oh no, it's all sold out. But I was like, oh, okay, well, if it comes back in stock, let me know. So she said, yeah, we'll let you know. So if she texts me just before launch or launch date, then I'll be like, yeah, got that's the trick, right? But
Yeah.
I do think that this round they probably also ordered in bulk, but it's just very highly anticipated.
I
A
mean,
lot of people want it.
understandably, because this,
I mean, there are some pieces I think it's worth it. Just take example the Nano. Why I thought, okay, this will be a good purchase, even though everybody was saying, "Oh my god, it's so expensive! It's so much more expensive." But it's not really that much. I think the Nano Speedy multicolor ones, if you get a really good condition one from the past, those are selling like above $2,000, 2005, 2006, and they're old, but they're like the better condition ones. So the one that is coming out now is about almost three or 3.2. The premium is not that, I mean, not premium lah, but the difference is not so significant, but you're guaranteed a brand new piece. But there are some pieces that I totally agree, like, oh my God, who's going to pay that? So, which is why I can imagine why the Nano sold out so quickly. Because the really, even the like colored run one so bad, the white is like, also selling almost 2,000 Singapore dollars. So I think I those pieces, yeah, wiped out. Then there are still some pieces available, like the uh shopper tote, like not shopper tote, on the go. Those are still available. I think the Elma is available. I was kind of considering it, but I was like, nah lah. No lah. They have some really nice ones, yeah. But oh, you got the Nano. Congrats, Julie. Wow. It was so hard to order in Singapore. It was like gone.
Yeah, I guess SLGs and the smaller handbags, because the price point is still reasonable, that they would definitely do really, really, really well. Especially because this line, I guess this limited capsule collection, which they've had before, did so well already. So they know it will be a success, right? It's just that now, I don't know. When was it that they did it before? Because I'm sure it was already expensive back then, but this time
Wow.
around.
10 years ago, I think it was the last
Yeah.
launch. They had some piece 10, maybe 15 years ago, they had some straggler pieces, right? Yeah, the SLGs will sell. You know what I was kind of hoping that they will launch? I was kind of hoping that they will launch the Petite Noe. The Petite Noe
Oh,
in multicolor, because that's like the one that I want to get for real. And I tried to hunt down like vintage pieces, but they're hard to get. and vintage pieces are nasty, like really nasty, and they're not cheap. $2,000-$3,000 for that. There was a dog color, but
Would you wear it though? Because the Petit Noir is still a shoulder bag. Would you get it in black or in white?
black.
Black, I guess it
If
would
they,
be okay.
yeah, it's very nice, but I'm surprised that they didn't come up with that for the re-release. I'm surprised because that was a really popular. That's like pretty iconic. Yeah, so this launch will do very well. I'm not sure if their other 2 launches will do well because they're doing 3 drops. They call it drops. Oh my god, like shoes, 3 drops. One in January, which is all the multicolor. Then they've got the one with the flowers. I don't know what they are, like flowers. I think that's in like middle of the year, and then one more at the end of the year, which is, I think it's the cherries. Because Murakami has so many patterns. So I think it's the flowers, middle of the year, and then somewhere at the end of the year is another batch of cherries. Cherries would be quite nice though, cute. Cherry blossom.
I especially think that the Murakami collection it probably does the best where you are, like in Asia.
Yep.
Like not some here maybe, but like not as crazy here because that's the thing. When I go to Asia, I feel so much more not alive, but in a way, like I feel like if people dress so much more lively. They're more daring with colors, with patterns. Whereas, of course, here is all like, well, also because we have the weather, right? Like it's always gloomy. It's dark so early in the winter time, especially now. Like it's dark at 4:30. It's so depressing and it's cold. So all you feel like wearing is grays and blacks, right? Whereas just a couple weeks ago, I mean, just last week, I was still in Hong Kong and I was like wearing it was getting cooler already, but I was still really excited to wear my whites and to wear my gold. The gold is like not even my color, right? I mean, I love gold now, but I had to, it was an acquired taste. And so, yeah, the more kind of like these kinds of designs, right? Like the drawings and the colors and the patterns, they do so well in Asia.
Yeah.
In other parts of the world, of the world. Less so in, I don't know. I want to say it's less so here, at least in Canada for sure. It's less so. Maybe the US is still okay. Europe, I don't know. I'm not sure about any Europeans here. Is it as popular there? Like, let me know. Let us know. Because I feel like even Australia, I mean, I've been to Australia a couple times now. I feel like because of their climate, it's always so sunny. Yeah, it gets cold, but it's still sunny, It's not, I don't know. When I came back to America, to Canada, I'm like, oh, I get so depressed like right away. It's like night and day. Like the whole the days are so short, right? You just don't feel the same type of energy. Like you wake up, you're like,
with this. With Asia is more into the cute culture.
Yeah.
We have this, like, I think it's everything, right? It's the whole Hello Kitty and the whole Japanese anime and the sunlight. Everything is just like maybe more
the sunlight.
The sunlight. It's alive. We're alive.
I know, you guys. Oh.
But then again, like you say, we don't wear so much black. Like this morning, I took my dog to the dog park. How sick I was, but I still took her to the dog park. Like, and my friend with me was wearing black, and I was like looking at her like, it's freaking hot. How can you wear black? Because it's nothing to do with it's just wearing black, but because it's so hot, black absorbs
it attracts the
every single thing. It's like, zuh. And I was wearing like white sleeveless, and I was already sweating buckets. And she's like, I know, I'm so hot. So we will not wear black. I not to say I won't wear black, but I only wear black at night. If I know I'm going to an air conditioned place, I'll wear black. But otherwise, if I'm wearing what you're wearing, it's like I'm trying to cook myself from the inside out.
I'm so cold right now, like you guys don't see it, but it's like, I mean, I can't put my thermostat too high either because then I can't sleep, but then the air is crisp, you know? That's like just not, it's just not it, okay? The vibe is not it. I mean, it still got cold in Hong Kong because of the air conditioning, but otherwise, it's actually always humid and hot. And that's what I love. I feel so much more lively when it's hot, when I can sweat. Whereas here, I'm like, I don't break a sweat, okay? For many months, I won't be breaking any sweat unless I'm actually working out. Whereas over there, I just sweat normally. Like, it's so nice, right?
Talking about sweat. So I was having the fever so bad, right? Then
Oh,
yesterday
yeah.
I came out of the bed, and then I turned around and I said, why is my bed wet? Like, oh, because I was drenched with sweat. I was like,
Oh, no.
ah, sweat. That's how we live every day. Sweat. It's so hot. Everything's so hot.
It's actually kind of funny. I think, you know, it's funny because a lot of people like the colder weather. Like a lot of my family members, not
They
in Hong
prefer the
Kong, but
cold
like I
weather.
mean the people here, a lot of them they cannot do the hot. They think that the summer in Vancouver is too hot. And I'm just looking at them like, what? It's so cold in the summer here. Because it's not warm enough. It doesn't get warm enough, not to the degree that I would prefer. And so I think it's just everyone has their own thermostat, right? I just am built. I think I'm built for like the heat. I mean, yeah, I get hot too, but I just enjoy heat more than cold. Um, and I don't know if maybe that has to do more with my heritage, because probably that's where my ancestors come from. Like, you know, they come from a hotter environment. But yeah, some people actually like the cold more, and I don't get it. I'm like, why would you like the
No.
cold more? I'm like, I just freezing. I don't want to move. I don't even want to move my ass, do anything. Like just walking from here to the kitchen, I feel cold, you know?
No,
But
although I complain about the heat, I prefer the heat. I'm like, so hot, so hot. But I rather be hot than in a freezing cold. I cannot. I'll be like, oh, when it's cold, it's just everything's just not working. Everything's like
yeah.
stiffen.
I just
Oh,
feel like ever since I came back here, and I feel like I'm complaining at this point, but ever since I came back to Vancouver, my feet are always cold. I'm like, why are my feet and my hands always cold? And I'm like, I'm snuggling with my fleece, and I hate it because, you know, I'd rather be wearing shorts and tank tops if I could. But it is what it is. And
it
it's
is
only
what
gonna
it
get
is. You need
better.
to make another long holiday to Asia.
It means I need to move to Asia or
Yeah,
somewhere
yeah, yeah, yeah.
warmer, you know, which is not
Warmer,
happening.
warmer.
But
Yes.
yeah, more things, more trips to look forward to, right? Like to plan for in the future.
Ugh. Like I cannot even imagine being sick in the cold. It's like wow, it's double whammy, you know. Because already when you're ill, you're like
Yeah.
stiff like a log, and then you're cold, and you're like, I can't, I
That's why you don't get
can't.
out of bed. Just stay in bed.
Yeah, yeah.
Stay
Like
inside the covers.
I can't wait to break some sweats.
So I hope the members have seen the big caption on the on the video. Yeah, send us your best and worst purchases. Both Kat and I, to either Kat or I, doesn't matter. We'll manage. It will
Yeah.
be nice to have, you know, quite a few entries to look at. It will be just interesting to see what other people have been buying that they haven't used or that maybe they didn't have the best experience with. Because yeah, I feel like a broken record. I talk about the same things all the time.
And it's getting harder because we buy the same things all the time. We don't buy much anymore. Well, oh, having said that, yesterday, I think we can finish with this, but yesterday I was watching, wait, was it yesterday or this morning? Okay, either way, I was watching Handbag Holic. Handbag Holic. She recently bought a new bag. This Coach. Like, it looks like their Row Margot bag. Like a super
Oh.
large, yeah, it's a super large tote. And I think if I need like a big bag, that would be a good one. It's called the, ooh, I forgot the name. But anyway, if you check out Handbag Holic, she got herself this humongous tote, like this big tote that would be really good for rough use. And when I was talking about this, mentioning this because we don't buy much anymore. So if I were to add something into my collection, I feel like I'll be adding things that won't cost a bomb in a way, because it was Coach. I think it was like $600, and
Here,
that
I
I
have.
can.
Everyone, Julie, Annie, they're saying it's the Empire. Is it?
The
Is it this
Empire.
one?
Okay, you all know it. It's
Hold
a
on.
giant bag. It looks actually super, super awesome. Right, there you
Is
go. Okay, let me
it this
remove your
one?
banner.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, look at
This
it.
one is the 40. Is that the
Yeah, that's
size?
the one that she bought 40. Look at it.
Oh. Wait,
It's
that's 40?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
the 40.
Mm.
They even have a bigger one, like 48 or something, even bigger. It actually
Oh,
looks
yeah.
really good, right?
I like that it's all leather and it has, well, here, can try to look at it closer. So there's oh, I can't move the image. I can only zoom in and zoom out. Okay, wait. Okay. Yeah, there's a pocket zipper.
But I think the
Um,
interior is still material. But the leather
oh,
on the
okay.
outside, yeah, but it's fully leather. There's a picture of her, where some lady wearing it. Scroll down a little bit. Yeah. Look at it.
Mm,
Oh.
mm-hmm.
Isn't it like the
Well,
Margot?
Margot doesn't have the hardware though. Doesn't have the hardware.
Margot doesn't
No,
have the
I don't
hardware,
think
I
it
think.
does. Not like, well, not like this for sure, but let's see. Since we're here. Yeah, it doesn't have it. It only has like the D ring. Wait, am I looking at the right one? Yeah, here. This one.
And yeah, it doesn't have the zip as well, the Margot.
Yeah. It
Oh,
has a buckle,
oh,
but
thank
it's
you for
not.
sharing. D Lee is saying, I scored the Coach bag, but ended up returning it. It was way too big.
Oh, I thought she was gonna say heavy.
Was it heavy? D Lee. Was it heavy? Looks good though. Look at it.
I mean, the shape is great.
Yeah.
I almost, you know how Coach can get heavy because they
Yeah,
use a
like
lot of
this.
material.
Like
Yeah,
this.
so, uh, oh, this one fits a 13-inch laptop. So yeah, it's a pretty big bag. I mean, it's a nice bag. You know what? Coach does really good leather bags. I actually prefer their leather line more than I prefer their leather more than their canvas because yeah, the canvas gets really heavy and then I almost feel like, oh, if I'm gonna carry heavy, I'm gonna go for leather. I don't know. That's how I feel.
Yeah. Even for this bag, right? It's so well made, It's really well made. Like, I cannot fault the bag at all. The stitching, the rivets, everything is just it's perfection, okay? The rivets, even Chanel can get their rivets wrong. Every single rivet on this bag is upright, perfect. Even at the bottom, the stitches are just, even this double stitching here. Yeah, it's really well made, but when you wear it, it's like Heavy.
I think you meant to say LV because Chanel doesn't really do rivets like that with the name on it. It's LV. Sometimes LV is like
LV, yeah,
LV
LV.
un,
Does Chanel have
like
rivets? Not
not
Chanel.
like
Yeah,
with the
LV.
name on it. They don't really
Yeah,
do their
LV.
yeah.
LV. Sounded the river like L the Louis.
Yeah, it's the other way around.
Yeah.
Okay, anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed today's sharing. And members, please don't forget to send us your entries. It's kind of our fault for not remembering to announce it. I will also post it on the community post because I haven't posted calendar yet. I will post it like right now after this live. But yeah, we'll see you next week, members. And yeah, don't forget to share with us. But yeah, otherwise, is this the last public? No, there's another public live, right, in
There's one more
December
public live coming up.
before
Yeah.
our holiday, because we do usually take a 2-week break in the year-end, holiday season. But yeah, we'll see you one more time before 2025. Okay. Bye,
Yeah.
guys.
Wow.
Have a good weekend.
Bye.
Bye.